What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Zorro, and today we're not talking about tech or travel. We're diving deep into history, specifically the epic origin story of one of the greatest conquerors to ever walk the face of the earth, Genghis Khan. Forget the movies. We're going back to the very beginning, to a time when he was just a little boy named Temüjin, born with a literally bloody sign of destiny. Our story kicks off in the fall of 1162. Picture this, the headwaters of the Onon River. It's pure nomadic hustle. Herders are busy making cheese, slaughtering animals, and salting and curing the meat for the harsh winter ahead. The women? They're out gathering pine nuts, wild onions, and mushrooms from the forests. And the guys? They're kicking back, drinking fermented mare's milk. It was the good life. On the steppe, autumn wasn't just a season. It was the best season, a perfect mix of harvest, bounty, and rare, relaxed downtime. And right there, in one small, busy, nomadic camp, our main character, the man who would become Genghis Khan, was born. But wait, before his birth, there was some serious drama. His mother, Ho-Lun, wasn't exactly his father's original wife. His father, Yesugei, a powerful Mongol warrior, already had a wife and kids. But when he saw Ho-Lun, he instantly had to have her. He literally stole her from her first husband in a classic steppe snatch and grab. And get this, right after bringing Ho-Lun home, Yesugei was back out the door, launching an attack on the Tatar tribe. Why the Tatars? They were rich. They traded with the Song dynasty in China, and Yesugei wanted their land and their loot. While her husband was off fighting, Ho-Lun gave birth to a son. According to historical records, this kid was born with his right hand gripping a small, dark clot of blood. For the Mongols, this was a major omen, a sign that this child was destined to conquer the world. His enemies, however, they just saw it as a mark of his innate savagery. Now, you know how history works. People love a good story. Over time, that little blood clot got upgraded. In different versions, it became a sacred stone, a jade seal, or a rare jewel, all to crank up that destiny factor. Yesugei returned victorious from fighting the Tatars, saw his new son, and was ecstatic. He named him Temüjin, which in Mongol means man of iron. He was hoping his son would grow up to be just that, tough, brave, and a formidable fighter. Here's where it gets complicated. A Mongolian history text from the 18th century actually suggests that Ho-Lun was already pregnant when Yesugei snatched her. If that's true, Temüjin's biological father would have been her first husband, Chiledu of the Merkit tribe. But check this out. In Mongol society at the time, blood ties didn't matter much. If a man acknowledged a child as his own, the whole tribe accepted it. Yesugei claimed him, and that was that. Even though Yesugei was his official dad, he was constantly away fighting. The real father figure in young Temüjin's early life was a hunter named J-Archi-Udai. J-Archi-Udai came from a small, totally different tribe, the Uriankai. Unlike the steppe herders, these guys were forest people. They didn't live in yurts, they lived in cone-shaped tents made of wood and tree bark. Some even raised reindeer for milk and riding, and when the snow got deep, they strapped wooden planks to their feet, early skis, and flew across the ice. The steppe nomads were completely baffled and terrified of this speed, thinking the Uriankai people must possess magic. And J-Archi-Udai did have a kind of magic. Legend says he was the first person to see Temüjin's great future, and the first to properly interpret that blood clot omen. Despite being too poor to even own a horse, he walked over the mountains to see the baby. His most precious gift? A thick, black sable pelt, a hunter's treasure to keep the infant warm. Ho-Lun went on to have 3 more sons, Kasar, Katyun, and Temüge, and a daughter, Temülun. Yesugei's first wife, Sochigel, also had a son, Belgute. By 1170, Yesugei's camp was packed. 2 women and 7 children, all under 10 years old. The Mongols didn't have calendars. They figured out age by counting things like how many times the grass turned green. That's why we can't get an exact date of birth for any of them. And with the men constantly out hunting, herding, or raiding, the women ran the show at home. They made clothes and yurt walls from wool and leather. Their go-to material? Felt. They pounded it layer after layer until it was thick, warm, waterproof, and perfect for boots or tent linings. They had very little metal, so no pots. They cooked by heating stones in a fire of dried dung, then dropping the hot rocks into a wooden bowl or a leather sack containing water and meat. The stones did the boiling. They were super resourceful. After cooking, they'd pass the hot stones around, scraping off the grease to eat or rubbing it on their bodies to fight the cold, dry wind. And the hair? It was freezing cold, so bathing was rare. To avoid lice, Mongol men shaved most of their heads, only keeping their beards and the 2 small locks of hair that poked out from under their hats. So, that bald on top, 2 braids look you see in the movies? It wasn't for style, it was to beat the bugs. So there you have it, Temüjin's birth story. Born with a blood clot of destiny, a mostly absent biological father, and the guiding presence of the mystical hunter, Uday. But here's the big question. How did growing up in this rough, primitive, crowded environment mold him into the resilient, calculating leader he became? And how big was Uday's influence, really? Next time, we'll dive into the next phase of Temüjin's childhood, the events that truly set him on the path to becoming the Man of Iron. If you loved this deep dive, smash that like button. And if you don't want to miss the rest of Genghis Khan's epic story, hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.